Good morning, everybody. It's me again. So, for the last couple of days, I've been thinking about what it feels like to be diagnosed with a terminal illness. So, in my life, I've had many people who has been diagnosed or was diagnosed with cancer specifically, and I've lost quite a few people to cancer, including my dad, as well as from my maternal side, one aunt, and from my dad's side, another aunt, and then one of my besties, as well as one of my besties' husbands. And then obviously other people that I've been acquainted with for years. And it's difficult to deal with losing somebody through cancer. And as I've said before, my mom was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer also very recently. So the question I want to ask is, and this is specifically for people who receive the diagnosis, is, do you feel that you should inform your loved ones straight away, or should you keep them in the dark to, ease any feelings of sadness from them toward you, or that you don't want them to feel sorry for you because of the diagnosis? Because I know in my experience, when you tell somebody you have cancer, people are normally at a loss for words. They don't know how to react. They don't know what to say. So do you think you should keep it to yourself or no? With my experience and in my opinion, I think that when somebody is diagnosed with cancer, that they should inform their loved ones immediately, because the people around you are the people, and the people who love you are the people that will be supporting you, who will be assisting you and doing things for you that you are no longer able to do for yourself. If you are going through chemotherapy or radiation treatment or whatever kind of treatment you are going through, the loved ones will definitely be there to support you. With my mom, my sisters are unfortunately not able to, take her to chemo sessions and that, so that has fallen on me. And I love doing that for her, because when we are at the hospital, it gives me a chance to have one-on-ones with her, outside of having one-on-ones at home. But because of the Alzheimer's, of course, as well, she doesn't always remember, well, not always, she does not remember our one-on-ones and our chats and conversations. So when I take my mom to Grooteskier for her chemo sessions, I normally take pictures and I do video recordings for her to remember. And even when I show that to her, she tells me, yeah, well, those things could have been taken long ago. But that's just what it is with her, with the Alzheimer's as well. So what I wanted to say really is that I think it is best for loved ones to know about the diagnosis, so they can support and be with you and stand with you. And also, if the diagnosis is a bad one in terms of maybe stage 4 and there's nothing else that can be done other than palliative care, then that will also help the loved ones to prepare for the passing of the person that has been diagnosed. It doesn't make it easier, but it just gives the loved ones the opportunity to prepare mentally as well as emotionally for when the person passes from cancer. So with my dad, he had lung cancer, and toward the end of his life, I think it was about a month, he was bedridden because he couldn't walk and he couldn't breathe properly. But that didn't stop him from being funny and interacting with us. My dad was a very strong person. He was diagnosed with lung cancer. He went for chemo and he still went to work. He would have chemo today, for argument's sake, and then tomorrow he would cycle to work. And up until the day when he had his second to last chemo session, and he got on his bike and he went to work that day, and he could not go any further than 100 meters from home. He turned around and he came back and he said to my mom, this is what I found out from my mom afterward, that he was too tired and he couldn't. So from there on, he was at home, and then eventually when he was bedridden. And for me, because we were prepared, on the evening that my dad passed, all of us were in the room when he breathed his last. My dad was on oxygen, and then he indicated to us, no more. He started scratching on this thing that was in his nose, and he said, no more. And then the oxygen was taken out from his nose. I can't remember whether it was his sister, whether it was my older sister that took it out, but he was done. He made the choice that he was done. And we watched him, and we prayed with him as he was breathing his last. It wasn't an easy sight to witness. It wasn't easy to see him taking his very, very last breath, but I was glad that we were able to be there and see him off, and see how calmly he passed away. So my opinion is, don't keep your diagnosis from your loved ones. You will need all of the support that you can get. You will need all of the love. You will need all of the talkings. You will need all of the praise. It is important to tell your loved ones what your diagnosis is, so that they can be there for you 100%. Have a blessed day, everybody.